All right, so we just went over the bell ringer. We talked about stocks. We talked about some companies, and you have a good idea of some good companies. All right, this presentation, how money works. These are some secrets. This is some good stuff. By yours truly, Captain Penn. All right, the objectives we're going to talk about, what I want you guys to learn. Be aware of the importance of investing. Okay, understand compound interest. Didn't you guys know what compound interest is yet? You're about to. It's exciting stuff, guys. This is money. If you're not pumped about this, then I don't know how I can motivate you. Understand about dollar cost averaging. This is what I'm going to get into, explaining how at 18 years old I was able to buy shares of stock, even though I was 18 years old. I didn't have a job. I was going to college. I was playing football. I was busy. I was just worried about eating and gaining weight so I could play at Auburn. Learn the importance of inflation. You guys know what inflation is? Every year our inflation goes up about 4%. How your parents used to be able to buy bread for 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents, or they used to buy gas. I used to buy gas for 98 cents. That's inflation. When the cost of a dollar is weakened because the prices go up. And understand the importance of budgeting and planning. That is key to save money. And I'm going to give you some secrets and information of good ways to save money that people don't even think about. Where do you guys save money at? Or where do you guys think people save money at? Just raise your hand and I'll call on you. Where do people save money at? Raise your hand and I'll call on you. Banks.
Under your mattress?
Under their mattress. To be honest, under your mattress is... there's safe places to put your money. The bank's safe. Your money's insured. If it gets robbed and you have $100,000 in there, they'll give you your $100,000 back, so it's safe. But you're actually losing money in a bank because of inflation. Because of inflation. I'll get into that. All right. Most people are concerned about how about money matters, but they really don't understand how money works. It shocks me. I meet 30, 40, 50-year-olds with this whole, we're in kind of a recession now. My parents are 60 years old, and they can't retire because all their money was in the stock market. Why? I don't know. As much as I'm telling you to buy stocks and get investing and stuff, you're young. You can take the risk. As people get older, I don't know why their financial advisors didn't tell them to put it in safer places. Once you get older and you've made that $1 million, you don't need to put it in the stocks. It's a very risky place where you can make money, lose money. You do that between 20 and 40 years old. But when you're 50, 60, you need to take it and put it in the bank where it's safe. It's no longer going to be making money, but it's safe. You put it in bonds where you kind of buy ownership of the government instead of part of a company, because companies can go bankrupt. But the point of this is I'm meeting with 50, 60-year-old people that have worked, that are intelligent, that know how to build airplanes. And they really don't know how money works. Okay, this is talking about your debt. Most of y'all don't have debt, so we'll kind of go through this rapidly. But just so you know in the future, there's this concept about paying yourself first. When you put money into in the mutual funds or stocks, and let me just stop here. A mutual fund, does anyone know what a mutual fund is? A mutual fund is a collection of stocks. Because stocks are so risky, because Starbucks, someone might drop hot coffee on them tomorrow and they get sued for millions of dollars, they might go bankrupt. Whoever owns stock in that company, it's gone. If you own $5,000 in it and it goes bankrupt, you lose that $5,000. But a mutual fund is a collection of hundreds of stocks to where some stocks go up, some stocks go down, but it's just a collection. It's a way to average out the money. And it's a much safer way. And when I'm talking about investing with you people, I want you to know it's about mutual funds, not one or two stocks, because that is very dangerous. That's gambling almost. I'm talking about mutual funds. So when you pay yourself first, you're investing your money. And a lot of people are like, well, I can't afford $100 a month each month to invest. Well, it's not like you're buying a car or something. You're paying yourself in the future. That money's going to come back to you, hopefully in an increase. You got to adjust your priorities. Stuff's expensive. Like I said, I'm retired. I haven't worked for many years. But Charter, you guys have Charter, the internet, the HBO, the cell phone that has internet, HBO, bills. I can't afford it all. I said I was retired. I didn't say I was rich. So I had to cut off HBO and you can't have everything. People that smoke, that's $5 a day. It's unhealthy for you. That's the first thing I tell people to cut out. It's unhealthy for you. It's $5 a day. 5 times 7, that's $40 a week. Is that correct, man? 35. But that's $35 a week. That if you're hurting for money, you can't afford $100 a month. Well, that's $35 a week. You times that by 4, you're gonna have a lot more than $100. Maybe don't go buy lunch every day when you have a job. Lunches are expensive. It's $8. Bring a sack lunch and save some money. Earn additional income and avoid the credit trap. Then you guys got credit cards yet? Do you? It's not a bad idea. It's a way to earn credit. When you guys get out and you want to buy a house or a car, you're probably going to have to put it on your parents' loan because you have no credit. Credit cards can get you in trouble, but it's a way to start establishing credit. And the best way just so you know, the best way to get a higher credit score is to go out and take loans and to owe money and not pay it off real quick. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Like I said, I bought the Porsche with cash. I was paying my credit cards. I was using my credit card, buy something for $300, and then 2 days later send them $300. Well, they don't. That doesn't establish credit for some reason. You guys show them that you can hold down credit to actually earn credit. And realign your assets. Do you guys know what an asset is? Just raise a hand. Asset? You got assets and liabilities. And an asset is something like a house. Something that you spend money on that in return makes you money at the end. When you own land, land's an asset. You pay it off and the land goes up. When you own stocks or a company, that's an asset. Liability is like a car. Liability is something you buy and you automatically start losing money. Children are liabilities. Big liabilities now with all these lawsuits. But a liability is anything that can cost you. So say you buy a car. As soon as I bought that, girlfriends are a huge liability. And no, but hey, look, I'll eat my sugar for that mistake. I was pretty cool in high school, though. I'm not going to that. You guys are making me lose my track. This is really important stuff, guys. But anyways, assets is stuff that makes you money. Liabilities is stuff you take away. When I bought that Porsche, the minute I drove it off that lot, it started losing money. It was cool, but it was a liability, not an asset. Okay, it pays to start early. All right, guys. Yes.
I have a question about that.
Yes.
Say you buy a truck, right?
Yes.
And you're gonna use it like to do work, right? It's sort of like a work truck,
Okay.
Would it still be a liability if you start making money using that truck, or would it still be or would it change the guys?
Well, what kind of work would you be doing?
I'm just saying, like you like a like a car or anything like that. You buy a truck.
Well, if you own the company, you could write that off as taxes, and it's a whole different accounting thing. But I like how you're thinking. The truck itself would be an asset if you own the company, but it's still just the whole concept is, houses, land, and cars are liabilities, and the girlfriends and whatnot. But here, pay attention to this. This is really neat. Would you guys like to have $500,000? It is not. Listen to me. It is not hard to get. I can't promise you tomorrow, but just look here. All right. Say you wanted $500,000 by the time you're 65. You guys have something that we don't have. We might have a job and make money and stuff, but you guys have time. When you're talking about investing, time is more valuable than money. And I'll get in that second. That's why I was able to do as well as I did at 18. And we'll kind of show you here, for example. So if you guys wanted $500,000, or your parents, if you wanted your parents to have $500,000, this is all you got to do. By the time you're 65, all right, once you turn 25 and you have a very, very nice job, you just joined the NFL or IBM, at age 25, you just have to invest $78 a month. And this is assuming a 10% interest, which is practical with the stock market. That is the average of the stock market over the past 60 years. At 25, $78 a month, and you'll have $500,000. Now look if you wait, or you go talk to your parents who are 35 years old. They're going to have to invest $219 a month, which is still doable. If you're 35, mother and father should be able to afford $219. But just look at the difference if they would have started earlier. 3 times more. 45, that's getting pretty expensive. To go up and say, hey, you're going to need to invest $653 a month. That will cut into a budget. And then 55, most people can't do that. 31 times more. So you see the difference in age? Just 10 years apart, 31 times more. You guys have something more valuable than anyone else is your age. And I'm not saying do this tomorrow, but when you get old enough to jobs, just have this on your mind that this is something that you should be looking forward to. Yes?
So the younger you are, the less you have to spend.
Yeah.
It don't start now. Some people.
I'm telling you, there's a something I learned where you take someone in 1935 with $5, okay? 1935 with $5, and he invests it. And you take someone in 2000, and they invest $1,000 every month. Who has more money?
The guy in 1935.
With $5, that's all they did, because that money rolls over and it's compound interest, and we'll explain that. All right, the rule of 72. This is something really simple that you should have in your head for the rest of your lives. Do any of y'all know what the rule of 72 is by chance? I just learned this a few years ago. All right, the rule of 72 is basically whatever interest your money is getting, you divide it into 72, and that's how many years it'll take your money to double. So if you have your money in the bank, and your bank's getting 2%, which is very, very good. Most banks don't do that. You divide 2 into 72, and your money will double every 36 years. How many 36 years segments do you have in your life? Yeah. One good one, two decent ones. All right. So this is dealing with interest. When you're dealing with this stuff, you're talking about money, interest, and time. And like I said, time is on your side. Now, when you're dealing with the stock market, like I said, the average is between 8 and 12%. So with mutual funds, you can double your money every 6 years. You guys have a bunch of 6 years in your lives, right? Yeah. That's what you have, your time. You have those 6-year increments. I only have a couple of those 6 years left. You got a couple more than me, so your money will double every 6 years. And I'll explain that in a little bit. All right. This is compound interest the wrong way. This is for you guys that own the credit cards. Credit cards can be dangerous. Mary started out with $500, okay? And credit cards have a very high interest rate because they're saying, hey, go use money you don't have. Just make sure you pay us back. It's just like a loan shark in those movies, but you're going to have to pay them, if you can't do it. 20% interest, that's huge. Like I said, you're happy to get 12% in the stock market. So giving 20% is, if you don't pay it off, you can really suffer. Each year she made 2 additional charges, $75. and she only made the minimum payments of 4%. As you guys know or don't know, with credit cards, you can charge things, food, groceries, clothes, and you got to make monthly payments. Or you pay this huge fine, this interest. They kind of want you to pay late. They kind of want you to miss payments because that's free money right there. That's how they make their money. If you bought a shirt for $100 and you couldn't afford to pay them in a month, they just tack $20 onto that. So now you owe them $120. You wait another month, and now not only $20, because you're not doing 20% on $100, you're doing 20% on $120. That's compound interest. So she only makes the minimum payments. After 5 years, she owes $520. So she's paying this thing off, but in 5 years, she owes more now than in 5 years than what she does now. And in 25 years, with her paying this off just little by little, in 25 years, she owes $2,500 when she only had $500 on the credit card. So it's important to pay off debt, because debt is at 20%. When you're making money, you're talking 8 to 12%. So pay off the debt first, or just try not to get debt. Can I say that? You guys are young enough. Try not to get in too much debt. You'll thank me. I'll be getting your Facebook invites in 10, 15 years. Most people don't plan to fail. They fail to plan. Listen to that. Most people don't plan to fail. They fail to plan. That's just in life. I was in the military. I tell you, one thing that made us the best country in the world is we planned. As soon as we ran out the door, the plan went out the window. But we all had a general idea of what the goal was. All right, this is neat, guys. I want you guys to talk to your parents about this. The theory of decreasing responsibility. Okay? In the early years, you don't have a lot of money. Is that correct? It's pretty safe to say. In the early years, you don't have a lot of money. When you do start getting a job, it's going to be as smart as you guys think you are, trust me. Get that college education even. You're going to be coming out making $30,000 maybe, working Saturdays. You're going to be at the bottom of the totem pole. The boss is going to be like, hey, you got to work this weekend. Oh, man, You're not going to be able to have HBO and Showtime. I mean, that's just... Plan on having your older brother TiVo it for you. But in the later years, you better have money, and you should have money. You're now, senior management. You're 60 years old. You've been investing. You've won the lottery a couple times. You're older now, so you've got promotions. So in the beginning years, you don't have a lot. In the later years, you have money. Well, unfortunately, in the early years, you need the money. You want to have fun. You're young. Oh, by the way, you're going to fall in love and want to get married possibly, and have children. You're going to have debt. You're going to buy a car. You're going to want a Porsche. You're going to want a truck. You're going to want a Honda. Anyways, you're going to need stuff. You're going to want HBO. So, in the early years, you want a lot, but you're not making a lot. That stinks. Do you guys agree? Now, on the other side, you have a lot of money, but you don't need a lot. When you're 65, your house is paid off. Your kids are in college. Your car's paid for. Your boat's paid for. So that kind of stinks too. You got all this money, now you're like, oh great, what am I going to do now? My kids get it, and well, I guess they'll have a good early years. But things change in life. You got to understand that. And the goal of your life should be moving this to the left, to where you have more money when you actually need it. You guys all understand that? You guys have any questions?
So we go have money when you're young.
What's that?
So which one should we go about though? Money when we're young.
Well, this is your responsibility. That's your responsibility. In your early years, you have the house payments, the car payments, the diapers, the neat cell phones. So you have all the responsibility, but you don't have a lot of money. As you get older, it matches where you're comfortable right here. and as you get older, you have all the money, but then you don't have a responsibility. Everything's paid off. Your kids are in college. You guys know what Social Security is? You guys know anyone getting Social Security?
Yeah, a little card thing, number.
Well, that's your Social Security number. But Social Security is a program they set up where people pay 15, 20, 30 bucks out of their paycheck, and as you get old, they'll pay you. And anyways, if you know anyone getting it, you're not going to get it, so don't even worry about it. This just kind of gives the price of what they're making now, and it's really not substantial, but the whole purpose is they should not have Social Security by the time you guys turn 65, so it's not even going to be a concern. The point of this is your parents were taught, hey, just turn 65, you'll be able to retire, you'll be taken care of, your work will take care of you, Social Security will take care of you, your work don't take care of you. That's not going to be there. I don't even know if welfare is going to be there in the future. You can't count on the government giving you money. So if you want to have a good lifestyle, or even just a lifestyle, even if you want to be able to afford stuff, unless you want to be at working when you're 70 years old. And you see people like that around town. I don't want to call anyone out, but there's places where you see older people working because they didn't invest, or they're like my parents, where they weren't wise enough to take their money. They had a ton of money, but they didn't take it out of the stock market. So now they have to do little odd jobs. And I mean, they're fine. I'm not taking charity. Don't put your money away, guys. But you have to count on yourself to succeed. Okay, this rate of return